there's a single most important document in connection with your divorce, it would be the statement of net worth. So what is it and how do you fill it out? Hi, I'm Daniel Clement and I'm a divorce attorney. A net worth statement is prepared at the beginning of a case and, as its name suggests, sets forth your net worth. The document forces you to disclose your assets, your liabilities, your income, and your expenses. So why is this document so important? First, you're swearing to its truth under penalty of perjury. That means if you make a misstatement, a material omission of fact, a misrepresentation, your spouse or his or her attorney will be able to use it to impeach your credibility at trial. And since most cases boil down to he said, she said, it's important that you maintain your credibility. You keep it intact. If the judge doesn't believe you, you'll be fighting an uphill battle at trial and you're likely not to win. Also, it can be quite humiliating and embarrassing to be caught in a lie at your deposition or a trial. Now, since the same rules apply to your spouse, when you're reviewing your spouse's net worth statement, you should carefully scrutinize it. Look for any errors, omissions, distortions, inaccuracies, quite frankly, anything that causes you concern, and report it to your attorney. The net worth statement is a roadmap to the financial issues of divorce. Presumably between you, your spouse, we have a good snapshot of the economics of the marriage. Hopefully all the income, expenses, assets, and liabilities will have been disclosed. We can carefully tailor discovery requests to discover any undisclosed assets, and we can use the net worth statement as a blueprint for any settlement negotiations. The net worth statement is required to be filed prior to the preliminary conference, the first opportunity we have before the judge, and in connection with any application for spousal maintenance, child support, and counsel fees. The idea is that the net worth statement will provide the court a snapshot of the marital finances and the parties' respective needs. Because of the importance of the net worth statement, careful attention must be paid to completing it. So what is the net worth statement? So this is a statement of net worth. As you can see, it's made as of a date under penalty of perjury. The first section is the family data section. In this, you basically provide biographical information, dates of birth, date married, and the names and dates of the birth of the children. Pretty straightforward. The next section is the expense section. Not as straightforward. In order to prepare this section, you must rely on your bills and records. Take 2, 3, 4 months of bills and average them together to come up with the numbers that you use to complete this section. Do not make up or guesstimate the expenses. It's easy to impeach someone on overstated or understated expenses. As you can see, it's a fairly comprehensive listing of expenses, including housing, utilities, food and groceries. Goes down to automotive, religious, educational, recreational, and miscellaneous, including barbershop, toiletries, books and magazines. The next section is the gross income section. This should be a fairly easy section if you're a W-2 employee. You can rely on your W-2 income to answer this line. But if you are a solo practitioner, a owner of a closely held corporation or in a partnership, I would ask your attorney for advice on completing this section. The income section, as you can see, is not limited to salaried income. It includes investment income, retirement assets, and other types of income. The next important section is the asset section. As you can see, it requests information regarding your various assets, including checking and savings accounts, investment accounts, real estate, You should not make up numbers on this. You should, again, rely on your financial statements. Use your bank account statements. When it comes to putting in values for things like your home or other real estate, don't guess. You can put to be determined, unknown, or just leave it blank. The next section asks you to detail all your liabilities. It includes your credit card and other liabilities. Again, asking for the description, the current balance, and in whose name. On both your assets and your liabilities, you should include assets or liabilities that are also in your spouse's name, for which you believe they are marital. The next section requires you to identify any assets that have been transferred in any manner, either for the length of the marriage or for the last 3 years, whichever is shorter. Finally, the next section, generally when it's filled out by your attorney, asks you to detail the amount and extent of legal fees and expert fees, and requires you to annex your retainer agreement. Finally, the agreement is signed by you before a notary and then certified by your attorney. When you submit it to the other side, you are giving not only the net worth statement, but your attorney's retainer agreement and your tax returns. As you can see, this is a fairly comprehensive document, should not be taken lightly, should be taken quite seriously, and with the advice of your attorney. You should not do this independent of your attorney or your accountant.